Are you looking at making a move to Utah or maybe some other state? Well, on this video, I've got 6 steps to help make that move a little bit easier. I think it will be valuable information, so let's get after it right now. And welcome to the Living in Utah channel. I'm Mike Gallagher. I'm a local real estate agent. On this channel, we talk everything about the state of Utah. Eating, sleeping, drinking, playing. You want to learn more? You may consider tapping that subscribe button down below and hitting that bell notification. And apart from making videos, we also help people buy or sell real estate in the local area. So if I can be of any assistance, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. 7 days a week, we got your back when moving to the U state. Coming in first on my list, expectations. What are you looking for? And what are your needs? After all, I don't think most people wake up and decide, hey, I'm moving to Utah or I'm moving to Colorado or Idaho. No, they have been planning this particular move probably for months, maybe even years. So what's important to you in the new location? Access to work. Is it important that you live right around the corner to where you work? Maybe you have relatives or friends that live in the state. Is it important that you live close by? Might be handy if you've got younger children and you need a babysitter and you would like the relatives to look after your children. Lifestyle. Maybe you want to buy a season pass to a ski resort and ski as much as you can. Well, it might be important that you are within a reasonable driving distance to the ski resort. Do you need to be next to a highway so that you can get to work a little bit quicker? Or maybe you do a lot of work or a lot of traveling out of state and you just want to hit the highway and take off. Also, airport. Maybe your job requires you to travel to other cities and destinations. So you probably would want to live somewhere close to the airport, maybe not 2 hours away. Maybe you would like to take some further education at a university, or maybe you've got kids that would like to go to university. Let's take, for instance, University of Utah. If you board at the University of Utah or live in the apartments around the University of Utah, it does get a little bit on the pricey side. So it might be beneficial to live in an area where you could commute either by train, bus, or maybe even drive a car to the university and stay at home. Coming in number 2 on my list, I'm going to call this one financial preparation. Do you have enough money saved up to make the move? It can get a little bit pricey. Even if you go on maybe the least expensive option of renting a moving truck, you have to pay for the truck, you have to pay for gas, you have to pay for hotels during your journey. You can also purchase a pod, a device. It's like a square box. You put it on your driveway. You load your furniture in the unit. Company comes along, picks it up, takes it to your new destination. You can also hire a professional moving company. It's normally the most expensive method to move your items. Come to your house, load it all up, put it on a truck, take it to your new destination, unload it all, put it in your house. And if you're buying a home, what are your options if you have an existing home in your current state? Well, you could sell that home, then buy a home in Utah. You could get a bridge loan. You could get a second home loan. You could borrow money from a rich relative. These are all great questions to ask a lender. And if you need a great lender, I can recommend one. Also, are you coming with a job already lined up, or are you going to look for a job once you get here? Either option may affect the ability to get financing to purchase a home. So I would ask the lender what it will take to purchase a home. And while I think about it, don't forget about fees that you may have to incur during the move, like HOA fees if you are moving into a new HOA, maybe utility connection fees, vehicle registration fees, driver license fees. The fees can add up. Might be possible to save a little bit of money when you move to Utah if currently you have a storage unit purchased at the location you currently reside at. In Utah, a lot of homes have basements. So if you rent a home or purchase a home with a basement, you can use part of the basement, maybe a room, 2 rooms, half of the basement to store items in. It's real handy. If you ever need an item, you just go right downstairs and the item is right there. You don't have to go drive to a storage unit. Also, if you own, say, a boat, a camper, a UTV, an ATV, any kind of recreational vehicle, sometimes there's room on the side of your home to park that recreational vehicle. People will put in a rock drive path or maybe an asphalt path or a concrete path, and they'll park their motorhome, their camper, their UTV, their boat right on the side of their home instead of taking it to a storage facility. Coming in number 3 on the list, employment and housing. When it comes to jobs, Utah has plenty of jobs. We have a very low unemployment rate. We have some higher paying jobs. If you are looking for a higher paying job, it usually will require some sort of skill, experience, or degree, or all of the above. We have jobs in the tech industry, the defense industry, state jobs, government jobs. The list goes on and on. When it comes to housing, the inventory issue has improved just a little bit. So if you're purchasing, the inventory is a little bit better than it was a year or two ago, but we still have a supply problem, and I do not see that improving anytime soon. With growth, people need housing, and you just cannot bring new product online fast enough. And if you're looking at renting, there are plenty of apartments around. You could easily find an apartment, and there are more apartments being built right now in just about every city. When it comes to single family homes, it's a little tougher to find. There are many reasons for that. The demand of people moving in, but also during COVID, many of your mom and pop landlords, they just sold their properties, and I can't blame them. If an individual was affected by COVID, the government allowed you to forgo making your rent payments. So many landlords received no money. And then when prices increased, home prices went up, some of those landlords decided to sell. Coming in number 4 on my list, I'm going to call this one legal and administrative issues. Look at all the services that you're leaving behind. Gas, power, electric, Dish Network, Comcast, Xfinity. There's many accounts. Usually, make sure that all the accounts are disconnected, final bills are paid, so it doesn't go to a collection agency. I'd recommend giving every company that you handle a forwarding address. You may have to set up a P.O. box here in Utah just for the temporary time period till you actually move into a home to get all that mail transferred to. Also, insurance. Talk with your providers, whoever that company may be. Make sure everything is in line and you do not violate any of the rules they may have while you are moving. I have heard that some homeowners' policies do not cover your goods while in transit, like in a moving truck or with a moving company. So I would check with your insurance company to see if there's some insurance that you can provide in case those items get stolen, damaged in a car wreck, catch on fire, and lose everything that you have. Check with your insurance companies. Coming in number 5 on my list, packing and moving. What a tough job that is. Well, we get attached to our stuff. I do myself. I've got boxes full of items that I haven't opened in years, probably 15 years. Actually, when I did the basement, I was looking for some extra room. So I built a shelf in the garage and I put a lot of items up on that shelf, and I have not touched one single item from any of those boxes in probably the last 15 years. So the question is, do we really need those items that we haven't touched in years? Maybe it's time to downsize and get rid of a couple items and make the move a little bit easier. After all, if you're hiring a moving company, some of them will charge by size and weight. So the more you have, the more that they may charge you. And if you're renting a moving truck, that's more items that you have to load and unload out of the truck. Also, a note on moving companies, read the contract 2, 3, 4 times. Make sure there's no hidden charges. I've heard of some moving companies literally holding your items hostage until you pay the remainder of the bill. And a lot of times there were hidden fees that they were not aware of. I've heard horror stories also. Just a few months ago, an individual contacted a so-called moving company from like Facebook or Craigslist, something like that. The individuals came out, picked up their items, but the items never arrived at their new destination. They made various phone calls. There was no trace of where their items are at the current time. Coming in number 6 on my list, settling in. Once you arrived in the state of Utah, there are many things that you may have forgotten to look into. I mean, we talked about changing utilities, driver's licenses, change of address, but did you find a doctor in the area, a dentist, maybe a specialist, an eye doctor? There are a lot of considerations. Who's going to do your hair, your nails? Where will you get your car washed? Talk to the neighbors, talk to your coworkers for some recommendations. Where are the best restaurants to eat at? Now, I have a couple videos on my channel for various cities on some recommendations for places to eat. So in conclusion, as we wrap this up, that's some of my ideas. I'd love to know in the comments down below, do you have some recommendations? What has helped you when you have moved in the past? Love to know what your ideas are. Let me know down in the comments. If you do have any kind of questions, I'm glad to help you out any way that I can. And until the next video, take care and stay safe.